All right, let's begin.
Yes.
Okay, so could you tell me your full name, please?
My full name is Seung-hun Lee. My first name is Seung-hun. My last name is Lee. Yes.
Great. And are you working or are you a student?
I'm a student now. My major is architecture. I attend in Kyung University, which is nearby Seoul. Yes.
And do you like your major?
Yes, of course, because when I was high school student, I always want to learn about the design of architecture. So I'm full my lesson is so good and so helpful for me.
Okay. And what do you like to do in your free time?
I usually do in my free time. I hanging out with my friends. Just we go in Seoul and we see exhibition in modern art center or like such as photographs or modern art of famous artists. And we go to cafe or restaurant, talk a small talk, and I love this time.
Okay, now we're going to talk about boring things.
Yes.
So what kind of things are boring to you?
I feel boring when I do transport, when I move transportation, because I have spent a long time in bus or subway because my hometown is so far. So I usually do the time listen music for use my headphone. I have the time, killing time at the moment.
And when you were young, what was the most boring thing for you to do?
Oh, well, let me think. Now I interest in study, but when I was young, I feel bored about the study, such as solve mathematical problems and understand the other subject. So I usually go to academy, accepting my school life. So it is boring for me. Yes.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about books. And so do you often read books?
Yes, I love book. I usually read Harry Potter novels because it is so stimulate my creativity and also security. So also the movie is make up the book is make up the movie, so it is interesting compared to the book. Yes.
And are your reading habits now different from before?
I don't miss the popular meme, just
I mean, your reading habits.
Yes.
Your reading habits, like the maybe the time you read or how often you read. Is it different when compared to before?
Yes, now I usually read the Bible because I want to note about my notes, the Bible verses, because I want to remember the detail of what I read almost every day for half an hour. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
That will do us for part one. We'll move on to part two now.
Okay.
The question for you. There is your question.
Yes.
Okay, and there is a pencil for you.
Yes.
All right, so I'll give you 1 minute to do some note taking. All right.
Okay.
All right, so that's 1 minute now.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so your part 2 question today. Could you describe a person who likes to dress fashionably?
Yes, in my country, many young people like the fashion because they want to express themselves for the passion. And, one of them, the famous people, the most fashionable, I think. One of them, I think, she is the Blackpink Jennie. I think she is so fashionable people because she is always try to accept new thing and try to new fashion styles. She is a singer and also she management her stage and she also the promotes model of the channel, so she is so important in this fashion industry and also beyond the Korea. And also she is why this fashion, she is why I love this fashionable clothes because first she always want to try fashion, new fashion, except this also the thing, and she accept a new lifestyle. I think the fashion is fashion is reflect the most trend, so she loved the chasing the trends. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's 2 minutes now. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Okay.
Okay. Now we'll move on to the third part of the test. All right,
Okay.
we'll keep going. Okay. So, do you think online shopping will replace in-store shopping in the future?
Well, let me think. In online shopping is more useful because people, whenever and wherever using shopping apps, they can accept their new product. But the main problem is they can't fit them and not experience about the subject, so they have problem about the exchange or found about the project. But I think it is not replaced the online store.
And why do some people dislike shopping in shopping malls?
Well, let me think. I think they have the staff so pushing their customer because they want to buy more something their product, so customer feel bad about keep pushing them, so they want to shop online to get this problem.
Okay. And why do you think fashion is very important to some people?
Well, I think and many young people express themselves from this mean as also for example I feel bored about my life. I usually try to accept new thing about my fashion style. So by doing so, I feel fresh, and it is helpful for people. Yes.
And how about the opposite? Why are some people not interested in fashion?
Well, generally speaking, some people are more interested in their real life, about their school life or their scholarship. So they don't want too much spend time their outlook. So it is not important to them. Yeah.
And when it comes to the age of people, do you think there is a difference in fashion between older people and younger people?
Yes. Older people is vulnerable of using phone or computer, so they're not chasing the trend of fashion. So because now the new trend is more courtship and online. But I think the older people also have their fashion style when they have confidence and they more believe of themselves. Yes.
Okay. All right. That will do us for the test. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So let's start with give you some feedback about it. So I would estimate your score to be 5.0 today. Yes, a lot of good things. You answered all the questions pretty clearly. I was able to understand your ideas. The main thing is the grammar needs to be a little bit tighter. You know, there's for example in the part 1, there was a lot of present tense and past tense mixing up, and some ing kind of all together in there. So try and just be, listen carefully to the question and try to answer exactly the way it's asked. Just point out a few things to you. Well, in terms of grammar and phrasing issues, right? One thing is your hometown, which is or somewhere which is nearby Seoul. So we shouldn't say nearby Seoul. We should say near Seoul. Near Seoul. Nearby is used as an adjective phrase. For example, the cafe is nearby. Well, we don't have to put anything after that. So it's very confusing, near and nearby, but I would look at some examples. I feel boring is another one. It should be the ED. I feel bored, I feel excited, I feel tired. Yeah, you know about that. Just some phrasing issues as well. When you talked about with your friends, you said we have small talk. Instead of small talk with friends, I would say we have a chat. We have a chat. Small talk is usually making a conversation with a stranger. You know, when you get into the elevator with your neighbor, you would make some small talk. Yeah, like that. Other one would be when you talked about shopping, right? Online shopping, people can't fit them. I would probably use the phrasal verb here, try on. So when you shop online, you can't try on the product, can't try on the clothing. When you talked about fashion as well, outlook should be outfit. Outfit, their outfit, a few good expressions there as well. When you said about the staff pushing their customers, okay, a good point. I would probably say, I would use the adjective form. I would say pushy. So sometimes staff are too pushy. They try to encourage you to buy something. Good. Pronunciation, I would say, there's a few words now. Let's say modern, photograph, transportation. These are a few isolated words that I think you should practice. And there is some issue with the R and L sound as well. So again, just it's something we need to practice. But thank you for coming in and doing the test.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.